we have enough delegates to start the meeting, and we'll start the meeting with the minutes.
The minutes of the May meeting, which is the last one we had here, was already published in the June edition. Did anybody find any additions, corrections to those printed minutes?
I move that we accept them as printed.
Thank you. Anybody second that? Thank you. So if there's no objection, the minutes of the May meeting are accepted as published in the Cobrua Reporter.
Okay, we'll skip the president's report for the treasurer's report, right? Treasurer's report.
Good morning. And month-ending balance in the checking account is $29,589. Our CD is $37,796 for a total of $67,385. Last month's balance was $69,623. In July, the CD came due, and I withdrew $15,000 to put into a checking account for cash flow. Also in July, we received $5,000 from Mark Levy from Senville he has promised us for $5,000 per year for 3 years to apply for our rent. Any questions?
Okay, Steve signed here, security report. Do me a favor, when you go to ask if Steve signed, somebody from security is, thank you. Okay, Stanley, community affairs.
For community affairs, the only thing I can say at this point, we're not sure how they want to operate with the booster shots. We're trying to see if we can get them into the clubhouse, but right now Mike is working with Commissioner Sachs, so that's still up in the air. There's a possibility they'll have a bus available, but I don't want to commit to anything, so that's still an item that has to be resolved. Any questions? I can't hear you.
Everyone getting the shots in the drugstore.
So what are you yelling at me for?
You couldn't hear me. Now you can hear
If
me.
you want to go to the drugstore, you can get it. I know somebody went to the drugstore, they were sick for 3 days.
The reason why we're trying to get in here is some of our residents can't get to drugstores. Some of our residents can't get to drugstores, and that was my pitch to the commissioner and to the governor. And we'll see. They don't want to come here because they said what you said. Everyone in Century Village can get to a drugstore, they're right around the corner. Not true, everyone can. Because we have people here that can't get to drugstores, so we got to think about that. So that's why we're trying to get in here. Okay, Stan, go ahead.
You want me to do M&O? Mike? M&O?
Yeah, let me know.
Now that it was yelled at. Good morning, everyone. I'm starting off on a new foot. The committee met with management Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. Management was represented by Judy Milken, the Vice President and Site Administrator, Monica Wells, the Chief Financial Officer, Abby Hopla from Entertainment, and Melissa Rodriguez from the Financial Division. Here are the highlights of the meeting. Theater renovation is approximately a week and a half behind. The new pandemic wave has slowed down truck deliveries, and the demand for supplies has increased and not readily available. Also, the prices skyrocketed. That's not to slow us up, it's the pricing, it's just the deliveries, but hopefully we'll be on track again. The landscaping on the south area near the fire station or the paramedic station is infected. We're working with Todd from Maximum to see what kind of a solution we can come up with. The areas where the buses were losing oil is a problem that we're taking up with Academy to see how quickly we can solve this. The area in front of the clubhouse seems crowded with green, and we're looking to see how we can add more flowers to make it a bit more colorful. Areas where we had orchard trees will be replaced by foxtail trees. Now, if you don't know what a foxtail looks like, and I didn't know it at the beginning, if you take a ride down New England near Preston and Mansfield, you'll see the foxtails around the front of those associations. The brochures for the up-and-coming show season have been distributed, and hopefully we can have an enjoyable season. All buses have been tested, air conditioning is working properly, the windows have been tinted to reflect heat, destination signs for external buses are in the progress of being made, and the internal buses have route signs on there, Route 1, 2, etc. Personnel aides have been, must have tags indicating who they are working for. Collections for May were $46,820. Residents are asked to wear masks as a preventive measure. Cooperation is what we are working for. This month, September 27th, we're going to start our budget workshop. So hopefully we can come up with something that will take care of everything that is on our laundry list. Any questions? Last year, what? That's an association matter. So I would say Charlie would be able to handle it personally. Any other questions? Hearing none, thank you.
Stan, do you want to say anything about the Xfinity committee that you and Donnie Case are working on?
Right now, everything's in limbo. We're trying to get Comcast to cooperate with us on seeing where the damages are beyond the coverings for the wiring. But right now, it's in limbo. I can't give you an answer because until Comcast is agreeable to work with us, there's nothing more we can do at this point.
Thanks, Dan. Donnie, I know the work going on there. Steve, you want to come up here the security report, please?
Good morning. My name is Steve Stein. I'm Director of Security for anybody new to the village. Security recap. We haven't been here in a few months, but I have some year-to-date numbers, and I have a crime report for the last 60 days. So far this year, we've patrolled 34,788 miles. We've received 23,852 calls to the gatehouse. Those are for authorizations, not through the automatic system. We processed 29,632 commercial vehicles, and they had 25,762 food deliveries. So, excuse me? I'll build the food number up. In the last 2 months, July and August, we had 10 incidents that's been reported on the sheriff's website as crimes in Century Village. In July, we had 4 frauds, 1 theft, vandalism, and a resident versus resident altercation, a domestic dispute. In August, we had 2 frauds and 1 theft. That's one of the big things that we're looking out for, and that everybody should watch out for, is people preying on residents of Century Village that they call you or request something over the telephone or ask you for information through the computer. If you don't know the people, hang up, don't answer on the computer, don't click on it. That is the biggest problem is frauds being perpetrated. This last month, security did some training. We ran 2 fire drills. We're going to run 2 more before the theater opens. We also have planned refresher courses for security for AED, CPR, and first aid, as well as crowd control manager recertification. That's what's on the schedule, and that's my report for this month.
Any questions for Steve? Okay. Just, Steve, the woman right in the back of, are you a delegate, miss? No. You can ask a question, though. But please take the mic. Please take the mic, miss. There's a mic right there. And please tell us who you are and where you live, please. He'll help you.
My name is Reza Kutinkel, and I recently moved to this village on May. I was impressed with the beautiful landscape and very nice area. But what I found here, we have problems with security. And I already spoke with Steve about it. I brought to his attention that we have problems. People come to our pool. I live in pen shop, and people come to our pool, big companies, they drink, they smoke, and marijuana too, and they drive drunk next because they come to our pool from another area, and by car, and this is very, I would say, uncomfortable situation for us. This problem is not just started now. This problem is for years, and I think it's time to resolve this problem and do something about it. I spoke with Steven. He said you have to call to security, and people. Security stuff comes, but only one person in the car. They come to the area. These people are very experienced with this whole situation. They know they will not be punished, nothing will happen. So they hide everything, then security leave, and they continue to do the same. And besides, I found that a lot of people rent apartments under 55 years old. So they, I would say, misbehave, they smoke, they are loud, and they make noises. So I think we have to do something more with the security. We have to give Steve more, I would say, tools to do his job properly, because he is with tied hands. He cannot do anything without, for example, no camera in the pool. So when they come, they hide, but if he has camera, he can see it. He has a proof that these people drink, that people smoke, and everything. And besides, one person comes, and it's a company of 20, 30 people. This person cannot do it. So we have to do something about our security, because this is most important. I think it's most important issue for quality of our life and for our security. And besides, they have to do something with the speeding, because I found that a lot of vehicles are speeding, terribly speeding, and nobody stops them. It's additional danger for people.
Okay, let's keep it quiet, please.
I beg our board of directors to help Steve to do something. We have to resolve this problem. And to close the pool or saying something nice to these people, it doesn't work.
Okay.
Thank you for your comment. This is something I'm putting a plan together to present at the M&O meeting for the committee, so that I have some suggestions that I'd like to bring up, and we can discuss it at the M&O
Next
meeting.
Monday's meeting with the presidents?
Also at the president's meeting, I can do so.
Okay, because I think the president should know what's going on.
No, that's fine.
Okay, thank you, miss, we appreciate it. Okay, Dave, where's Dave?
Michael?
Dave? You got it? Okay, just go up to the mic and Dave, just tell us who you are and where you live, please.
Okay, I'm Russell Resnick, I live in Yarmouth,
Let's keep it quiet.
and I'd like to thank Steve because his professional demeanor is amazing. I have
Dave, help her, will you please? Help her, the mic is too high.
I can talk.
That's it.
Okay, Russell Resnick, I wanted to thank Steve for his professional demeanor. I was very upset about something that transpired in the pool, and I felt it was lack of training on the part of the security guards. And he listened to me with exploding because it wasn't very complimentary, although I didn't sing either. Okay, the other thing is, one piece of information I took away from that was that when we bid this contract for security, our salaries for our security is the lowest. I mean, I didn't say it's the lowest, but it's extremely low. And Steve, forgive me if I'm not, this is in public. He said that our supervisors here are paid less than the basic, and you can correct me if I'm basic security guards at like certain country clubs. So I'm just saying that, like, this woman was just complaining about the way they handled the pool and Fanshine, I think she said. Fanshine. She just, I feel it's also part of this problem of maybe we don't, maybe if we raise the salaries, we might. I'm just saying that if our salaries are really at the bottom of the bottom. Okay.
Okay,
I'm
this
just
is
saying,
amazing.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Now that we got accolades.
All right, let's keep it quiet, please.
Gail Levine from Lincoln. I have called security a number of times, and they have never shown up. However, I'm not going to give you the list of the terms and the dates, it doesn't matter. They don't show up. And when they do show up, they don't, if they show up, they don't do anything. We've had trucks coming in on Sundays, we've had trucks coming in on Saturdays, we had people moving in and out, I called security. I need somebody there as soon as possible. Oh, Lincoln? Oh, where's that? You're not paying people enough is one thing, but it doesn't matter how much you're paying them, they're not being trained properly, and they don't care because they're not being told what to do properly. And if you want to raise them to $15, $20 an hour, let's just keep raising our coupon. We're not getting the results we need because they're not being trained, and et cetera, et cetera. So accolades or not, I still think you're doing a bad job because your people are not being taken properly trained. Thank you.
Okay, let's keep it quiet, please. Let's keep it quiet.
Hi, my name is Joanna from Honeywell B. Mr. Red,
Joe, wait a minute, yes? Why is it out of order? Yeah, we've had it for about 5 years. We've had it for about 5 years. Only during security. Yes, go ahead. Who are you, where do you live?
this Honeywell B, as you know, This is directed to Steve. We weren't going to talk about this. The security at the entrance. I have tricked them many times. I have shown them Macy's cards, different cards, and they waved me in, okay? I stopped one the other day and I said, look, we pay your salary. It's very important. There are older people here, and their safety is number one. You are not even looking at who's coming in here. Well, they're too busy talking to each other, and they come out and they go like that, and they wave you on. And I've tricked them many times, and I told them that we are going to be watching, and we are going to keep trying to trick them, and they are to do their job, paying their salary, and their job is to look at the proper ID, and if not, then call and see if they're allowed to come on these premises. So I think that's very, very important, and they are not doing their job. I have to agree with the two previous women talking here. I think, I mean, yes, landscaping is important, but the safety and security of the people on this property, I'm sorry, it's number one.
Okay, is that it?
Mike, I have a question.
Who are you?
For security, over here, to your right,
Who are you?
to the right, by the window.
You have to identify yourself. Right?
Yes, Fred Hadley, Cornwall E.
Okay, that's good. Go.
I have two questions.
Please.
Two questions. This week marks the peak of the hurricane season. I think September 10th statistically is the likeliest date for a hurricane. And as you know, had many storms, including one right now, Nicholas. I understand that our management company has set up a Zoom.
Is this a security question?
Yes, it is a security question. I think hurricane preparedness goes to security. I understand that First Service has set up a Zoom meeting for the presidents to brief them on hurricane procedures. Do you have any plans to do anything for the residents by way of security information? We still have to December 1st for this very active hurricane season. And anything in the works for the residents?
What do you suggest?
What is that?
What do you suggest we do?
Well, in the past, we've had a meeting in this room with county officials, fire rescue, and so on, and, you know, they did a PowerPoint and gave instructions and something of that nature for those that are interested. Or the other thing is this meeting that's scheduled for tomorrow at 11 a.m., it should be opened up to anybody that wants to enroll. I don't understand why it's being restricted to the presidents. Presidents generally have a pretty good handle on hurricane prep. It's the residents, many of whom are new, that don't know. They don't know that this is not a shelter in this building. They don't know that you shouldn't leave Century Village unless you have special needs.
Okay, Fred.
There are a lot of things that need to be gone over.
Security.
Pardon?
You finished the security part.
Yeah, all right. Now I have one other security-related question. As Steve pointed out, we have to be vigilant about cyber security. Now today, if you turn on CNN, they're saying anybody that has an iPad or an iPhone must do this emergency security update. There is a thing out there called zero-click exploit. Zero-click means you don't have to do anything. You don't have to click on anything. It'll go right into your iPhone unless you put in iOS 14.8. This morning I updated 3 iPads and 2 iPhones, and I urge everybody that's using an iPhone to do the security. I've never heard of an update coming from Apple that had this degree of immediacy and relevance. So please update your iPhone as soon as you get home. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other questions, Steve? Okay, Steve, thank you very much. If there's one thing that people forget, when these incidents happen with security, you should immediately go to the front desk, see Sherry, and who am I in competition with here? Okay. You should immediately go to the desk and put in the complaint with Sherry, because then they can act on it immediately. Because this is the first meeting we've had since June. So, you know, if these incidents happened in July, what are we going to do about it now? So please, if anything happens anywhere, that you have a complaint about, you go to the front desk immediately, and you give this to Sherry, who will give it to Judy Milligan, who runs Century Village for the Levies, and they will immediately give it to him so he can act on it. You can't come here 2 weeks later and say, oh, you know, last week someone didn't let me into the gate. You know, you can't do it. Why? It's too late. You're gonna go there, they're gonna deny it. You have to do it immediately, because if you do it that day, they'll take care of it that day. They'll take care of it instantaneously. So remember, Stanley says it, I say it, if there's a problem, as soon as you get the problem, go to the front desk, and they will take care of it. Thanks. Okay, anything on the old business? It's really old because it's since June, but anything on the new business? Anybody? Anything on the good and welfare? Anybody for the residents and the other? I have one thing on the good and welfare. Lynn brought up that we got $15,000 from the Levies for Cobrua. What happened was we were looking for an office in the building in over 3 years. 15,000 over 3 years. So 5,000 a year for 3 years. Now, we were negotiating for an office and we didn't get the office, so I said to Mr. Levy, well, maybe you can help us out because with our budget. And he said, I'll think about it. And the agreement was we're going to get $5,000 a year for 3 years from the Levies, and I guess they'll negotiate for 3 years to help us with the Cobrua office. Okay, that's it. You make the motion to adjourn? What? I said, oh, yes, I didn't see you, I'm sorry.
Okay, Karen Green, Overton.
Yes.
I am very impressed with all the landscaping that's been done and all the beautification. But I had a problem with the way that the trees were put in on the islands. I find that when I exit Wolverton, I can't see if there's anything coming. The evergreen trees that were planted on the median between Wolverton and Dartmouth have grown. There's hardly any space to see cars coming down that way from the gate.
So when you pull out of Wolverton and you're making a turn left or right, you can't see because the trees are blocking your view, is that it?
Right is a little better. Right's less of an issue, but when you go left, you have to cross 2 lanes of traffic. And you have to make sure that nothing is coming from the gate. And the trees are blocking the view.
We'll have them look into it.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Oh, one more thing.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there's also, when the beds were raised, for example, in front of the north gate, I noticed the other day I was sitting there waiting to make the left turn toward the clubhouse, and the plants are so high that if I hadn't seen the gate go up, I'm not sure I would have known there was a car coming. It's
Okay, so when you're going into the north gate, you're coming to the clubhouse, is that it?
no, I came from Wolverton to the north gate.
Okay.
I'm waiting there to make the left to go
To the clubhouse. What was blocking your view?
The plants.
Okay. We'll look into that too. Thank
Thank
you. Anything else?
Michael?
Yes.
We are still without a master management contract, which is being negotiated or handled by Cobrua, their management committee. And I understand that next week there's going to be a president's meeting that has been billed as an extremely important meeting. Now we are now 9 months into a no contract situation, and we'd like to know why we don't have a contract, what are the sticking points, and can we have a little summary of the status of this management contract? There are many things wrong with this management company, not the least of which is their very cavalier attitude on the adequacy of the individual association's reserve funds. The management company is not qualified to talk on adequacy.
Fred, we're not negotiating the qualities of the management company, we're talking about meetings, is that correct? You want us to meet let you know what's going on. Stanley?
No, I'd like you to make a report today about what's going on, so that we know in real time what's going on rather than after the fact. What is going to be the agenda of the president's meeting with the management contract? This is a very important contract. It represents about 25% of our monthly fee.
Fred, your entire premise is wrong, Fred. Sorry to say that, but it is. We are not operating without a contract. We're operating under our last contract plus 5%. Those are the terms that were in that last contract. The contract is ongoing. Everything is being done under contractual terms. And as a matter of fact, when you're talking about money, we're saving money because under the terms of the extension of that contract, we're paying a very modest 5% increase. If we had been under a new contract all these months that we've been working out a new contract or addendum to the old contract, we would have gone up 19%. So your budgets actually have more money sitting in them than they would have had if the contract had been signed back in January.
So you mentioned 19%. I'd like to ask anybody in this room, has anybody ever heard of any contract in Century Village where we're going to get hit with a 19% increase? I think it's outrageous, and what we're saving now, we're going to more than give up with this 19%. One at a time. Michael, what are you saying?
You asked if we were doing anything, she answered you, that's it, thank you. I don't want to start negotiating. What's that? Shh, wait just a minute. What was that?
It's your turn.
Contract.
Microphone.
Okay, this
Conversations.
okay? You're not running the meeting? No? You want to talk to Fred? Talk to him after the meeting. Then you can discuss what you're talking about. Okay. That's it. What's next? Anybody else?
Yes,
Okay, yes, sir. Who are you?
Richard Adelson, Manstra L.
Fred, let's keep it quiet, please. Yes, go ahead.
I was advised in June that people from management and Cobrua had been working on the rental sales application. And that they actually had come to a resolution and prepared a application. That was last June. I still have not seen the application. I've asked to see it. I've been told it's proprietary, and I have no authorization to see it unless I speak to an authority. I'd like to know what the status of that rental sales application is. We've gone from a 30-day review to a 2-day review, and we've been going from rules that are in violation of the Florida Department of Investigation and Business, and the Cobrua could be sanctioned by the department for violating
What has Cobrua got to do with this? What has Cobrua got to do with this?
What are the rules?
No, what has Cobrua got to do with this?
Cobrua is responsible for seeing that the application is completed, and
No, you're wrong, sir.
So I explain why.
It's association.
No, it's not the association.
No.
This application.
Yes, it is, and that's it. The answer is yes, it's an association, and we're not going to continue this because you're wrong. Sir, you're wrong. It's an association question. Please, if it was a good, I'm going. Okay, this is the last time I'm going to tell you. If you could continue to speak here, I am going to have to ask you to leave. I don't want to do that. I'm telling you, you're wrong. Okay, this is the last time I'm telling you, and then you're gonna be removed, okay?
I'm telling you that this is an
Okay.
association matter, not an association
Okay,
matter.
do me a favor, if he doesn't leave, Dave, if he doesn't leave, get security, get him back.
Steve,
Sir, I'm telling you, it's an association problem.
I've been advised that the association has already ruled and made an application that sought relief.
Richard, let me get you, all right? Richard, right now, they came up with a new application, and it's gonna be presented to each association for them to approve it if they wanna use it or not.
I was
And
advised that.
that'll be coming up at the next meeting,
June
the next
this year,
association.
in September.
And that's where we at right now.
Richard, please,
Look, you're in
Richard, it's an association problem.
And you're using a phony excuse to get yourself out of a trap.
Okay, that's it. Okay. All right. Yes, Ross. All right,
At a
let's keep it
recent
quiet.
Yarmouth meeting, our representative,
Okay,
my name is Roz Rosman, I live in Yarmouth. At a recent Yarmouth meeting, our representative from First Service showed us a 2-page application for rentals and alterations. It is in the process of being distributed to all associations, and it ends all the bickering and all the nonsense.
It's up to the association. It's up to the association when they have a meeting to bring this up. Yes.
I'm addressing this to you. I'm a Richard Guyman in Suffolk East.
Yes.
I attend almost every meeting. Almost every meeting, something comes up dealing with associations. You don't stop it immediately. You let some people talk about it, other people, it can't be discussed here. I think for once and for all, whoever it is, you need to tell them right away, this is not a meeting for association matters.
Rich, I tell them they don't listen. I tell them, Rich, they don't listen. Rich, I tell them right in the beginning, this is association. Number one, we have to find out where it's going.
Association matters for quite a while, and others immediately. They all need to be stopped immediately. This is not association.
Rich, I don't want to have people removed right away because they're making a mistake. People make mistakes. The average person in Century Village, in fact, when I first moved to Century Village, I did not know that you could not come to Cobrua with an association problem until they told me at an association meeting. One time, why are you going to Cobrua? Because if you have a question about the association, we're the ones who can set it. People don't know. I tell them, sometimes they don't listen. Do I get them go a little longer because I want them removed? Sometimes I do. But, you know, everyone doesn't know what it is, really. So, we have to have patience with people too. Everyone doesn't know, the average person in Century Village does not know what problems come here, what problems go to the association. And I tell them that, and sometimes they don't listen. But, you know, that's the way it goes. Okay, any other questions? May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
And second? Okay, thank you for coming. See you next month.
You're off the hook again.